all-white community where there is a minority population of non-whites. When I go to stores, restaurants, and public places, I notice how whites treat one another, and then how I am treated by comparison as a Black woman. I marvel at how pleasant whites are with each other, kind and considerate, showing comfort with direct eye contact and small talk, and positive nonverbal communication. There are no negative projections, no interrogations, no negative stereotyping, no discomfort. There is consideration, friendship, and trust, even between complete and total strangers. I have to talk about this because it is positive to witness. It is appealing, desired, and valued to have these kinds of interactions. It is also a reminder that we have had little to no authentic cross-racial relationships because of the history of segregation in this country. A great majority of whites, especially outside of urban areas, have not had a positive long-term relationship with an African American. Not a Black friend or family member to share with and process fears and apprehensions to these interracial relationships. Then, unwitting whites rely on false stereotypes and the depictions of Blacks in the media, as well as superficial and racist misrepresentations handed down by family and friends. With no other information, whites may project these fearful stereotypes onto innocent Blacks in which they come in contact. As an aside, the topic of Black identity development, African American stereotypes, and the history of Black cultural erasure and achievement, not just in this country but throughout antiquity, is for another video. All of this compounded by a fear of making cultural mistakes and the lack of Black-white relationships in which to draw from can create an anxiety-filled cross-racial encounter. At this time, I would like to interject a subtopic as it relates to the horizontal relationships between people of color. Whites are the dominant culture in North America. White attitudes toward African Americans influence those people of color who strive to be part of the dominant culture. They may imitate this white belief system about African Americans in order to fit in. Again, those well-meaning people of color that want greater proximity to the white experience will model themselves after whites, which may include a white worldview. The desire for some level of white privilege, white quality of life, compounds these anti-Black attitudes that well-meaning people of color may adopt. If you understand the history of racial hierarchy, which is based on skin complexion and proximity to European phenotypes, this will not surprise you. We all want to be loved and belong to whatever community we are in. And for those brave people of color that have chosen to live and work in white communities, this is unspoken but understood. I know that I have a beautiful heart because I always expect to receive kind-heartedness. I am never prepared for anything but courtesy. I always expect to encounter people that are gentle, caring, and helpful. In addition, on some level, I believe that I've received some very negative information from the nonverbal communication that I have experienced from whites. So I've had to really hone my consciousness to be aware of what I'm letting in during these encounters. I've learned to deflect some very poor treatment. I've grown stronger as a result. No less loving, no less kind, no less human, just aware. Overall, I am still waiting to feel a general sense of belonging in community with whites. It will come one day. Hope springs eternal. But no matter how I am treated, I make the effort to exude positive and peaceful energy in some way. Even when the stares, discomfort, and looks are glaringly noticeable and are designed to remind me that I am different. I believe in emotional intelligence and how humans have the potential to sense one another and empathically understand one another when focused on this level of awareness. This innate higher intelligence proves that humans share a natural affinity, especially when in close proximity to one another. We are connected in ways that we are not consciously aware. With that said, to deny a relationship with one another on the basis of race, color, prejudice is not natural. This is a learned and socialized behavior, and it takes great effort to maintain. Unfortunately, whites have been socialized to publicly deny racism. Many are taught to ignore race or be colorblind, which has resulted in many whites ignoring Black accomplishments and our cultural significance in America, pretending that what we have contributed doesn't exist. Being colorblind while simultaneously racializing African Americans, separating and segregating themselves from us is a total contradiction.